Okay, here is an update on Digibyte to the USD. So Digibyte and BitShares and Verge, most of the altcoins have very similar pattern. They've got wave 1, 2, and another wave 1 and 2. You might be asking, how do you have 1 and 2 right after another 1 and 2? The way I count this would be, here's wave 1, 2. You can't do 3 and 4 here because 4 cannot overlap with 1. So that's not allowed. So instead, you have 1, 2. Where could 3 be? I believe 3 will be way up here somewhere. $32, 3, 4, 5. For me, the June-July time frame is pretty important. I believe in the June-July time frame we'll have a sizable correction again. End of July maybe. But to explain this, how these waves fit in, I have 1 and 2, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 3. Therefore, I think I need to raise the 3 and the 5. So in other words, this is 1 of 3. We did 2 of 3. So let's label it. Let me make sure I get the degree of trend correct. We can leave that at intermediate. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, usually, for now, I am leaving wave 3 at around 1.618 of 1. So I take the height of 1, put it on 2. Copy and paste that. So I take the height of 1, 1.618 is a 3 of 3. Now, please do not think this is going to be happening tomorrow or the week after. There will be corrections in between, minor corrections, which will make many feel like, yeah, Hedgen's projections are out the window again. No, my original 30-cent plus projection for Digibyte has not changed. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I believe since 1 of 3 was so long, we'll probably be extending all of this upwards. more to the right as time will pass. But based on my other projections, which I will get into later in a future post, I feel that end of June, July-ish will be another correction month of 30, 35% or so, maybe 40%. And during this correction, people are going to freak out again. But if wave 1 length is here, I make wave 3 1.618 of 1, and usually it goes to 2.618. So we'll go 2. So about where wave 5 is, where this wave 3 will be. But for now, I won't do it. I will leave it at 1.618, more conservative. And you might be thinking, wow, from 4 cents to 25 cents. April, May, June timeframe. If Bitcoin does what I think Bitcoin will do, in other words, start another orgasmic series of lunges upwards within the time frame of June, July, August or so, September-ish, early fall. Within that time frame, I believe we can see the 30 cents range of Digibyte. During this decline, yes, many who even bought it here, and I believe I started making 30-cent projections around, I think before this even started, because I was looking at this larger degree of trend. Intermediate is multi-months. Minor is a whole series of weeks to a few months. It doesn't mean it's going to go to 30 plus cents tomorrow. And when you were doing the subwaves of 3, during the wave 2 of 3 correction, I'm sure many will be thinking, yeah, Hedgen's projections out the window because of this 50% retrace of the 1. Sentiment always flows that way. It never fails. Human sentiment. Why? Fear and greed are the two dual sentiments that drive the ebbs and flows of price and human perception regarding price. So, do I feel like I'm sticking out my neck here on these projections? No, not at all. I'm calling it as I see it, based on the way projection. In fact, it'll probably be much higher than here. Am I being a perma bull? No, not necessarily. If indications show that none of this is going to happen, where we see that, let's say we see a diamond structure before it even gets to 30 cents, that's a clear top warning at a intermediate, maybe even cycle degree level. So from here to here, anything can happen. And whatever happens, if it requires me to change on the dime my analysis and projections, that's what I do. There is no analyst out there who makes a projection, stays on that projection forever, and if that analyst remains unwilling and myopic to change his calls and projections and future price pathways, it'll be very detrimental. I know there are some out there already who are in deep pain from this. But this was the time to buy, to ladder back in. And what keeps me often sane is the big picture, the tree waves, not the forest. So with the big if, capital I, capital F, Bitcoin remains bullish, hits all-time new highs, because everything's going to follow Bitcoin. Why? Bitcoin is the moon that moves the tides in the cryptosphere ocean, and every altcoin, including Digibyte, swims in that ocean. Okay, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions and comments, I would look forward to reading them in the comments. I do read them. And I will try and respond to as many charts as possible that you post. So until next time on Digibyte, I wish you massive profits.